red side, it's going to be aces high here. And Lissandra, Kassadin.
Yeah, not surprised.
Really? You're that happy about Kassadin, Ben?
I'm just, I saw it coming as soon as I saw that scoreline. 12 to 2, 300 CS. The guy was a monster, and so Thaldrin's not going to be playing Kassadin this time. Lissandra we did see last time as well, so they seem to have a bit of an issue. Or I think maybe it's just these AP top laners that perhaps counter Maokai.
Well, we'll see what they're going to be end up going with. If they're going to actually ban out Maokai or let him be picked. Jana will be the last ban here on the side of NumberOne Esports. And over on this side, we see LeBlanc and Gnar both being banned away. I'm curious to see what their third ban will be. Will it be Maokai, or will it be someone else? Pantheon, again, has been played every single time out of NumberOne Esports so far. Yeah. Only took a 2-0 victory over Tricked. That's what they played. But they're taking some time. They're definitely thinking about this one. They want to make sure that this is going to be a solid ban, or they might actually just leave it be.
They're just, well, there's nothing they want to remove. I think they're doing it. No, we are going to be seeing an Aurelia ban.
A second.
Yeah, we do. No surprise, really. I think that was exactly their set 3 last time. LeBlanc, Nana, Aurelia, if I'm not mistaken. So the only change to the bans is going to be the Kassadin banned away from Thaldrin this time. And now NumberOne Esports, quite a lot to prove. I don't think they're going to be... I mean, we really liked their composition, didn't we? We were big fans of how they kind of built their team up. Yeah. And I feel like if they go for something similar, they could have a completely different game on it. And I feel like perhaps, as long as they don't... If Aces High don't get that early lead that they did get, it could go a very different way.
Oh, I want to say that, you know, NumberOne Esports, they should have won that game with the turnaround that they had happen.
That's
the problem was is that they made mistakes, and their comp wasn't really based around team fight. It was based around picking someone off. And you know, when you lose vision control, when the other team is kind of reading into that and realizing that you're probably hiding that bush, then that kind of just goes out the window, especially, most importantly, with the mistakes being made. But on the other side, we see some picks already coming in. I'm really curious about that second one. I really want to see how that one's going to do. That Orianna pick. And then the Maokai as well. Yeah,
so I mean, Orianna in the mid lane is always seen as that kind of safe pick, that solid mid laner. And I think it's something that I haven't seen an awful lot of recently. I mean, it's not something I've seen. I'm trying to think. When was the last time I saw it? I think Soz Purefect played it for playing Ducks. But other than that, we haven't seen it played in forever. And so interesting to see that picked up in that mid lane. Thaldrin, though, on something non-assassiny, non-aggressive. We're going to be seeing the Maokai. He's going to be playing a completely different game than he did in game 1. But still, it does mean he's taking it away from Krisange.
True. He has been able to take that away. Now, Krisange might actually be going Rumble here. I want to see the ball delivery system, what it's going to be. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember checking this out, the Twisted Advance cancels the ball.
Because you phase out.
Because you're invulnerable. Or, yeah, you're untargetable.
Yeah, okay.
So when that happens, the ball will come back to Orianna, and then you don't have the ability to place the ball anywhere.
Failed shockwaves on top of Orianna.
You definitely know a lot about those. But I'm curious to see what the delivery system will be then. What maybe the jungler, most likely the jungler, maybe Leona as a support, though. It's going to be a little bit tough to run the Leona there.
Little light bulb. We did see a Wukong hovered over in game 1.
We did.
That's a very nice Orianna pick.
I want to say we're not going to see it. No, I want to say we're not going to see it.
It would be lovely, though. I mean, that's such a strong composition. The Wukong ult into Shockwave is deadly.
Well, right now, if they pick up this Graves, that's a very wombo combo heavy team. The AoE from Maokai, AoE from Orianna, AoE from Graves, the caster AD. Curious to see what their support would be then, if they go for that. Okay, wow.
I was about to say, and another AD carry we could expect to see is Severe. Very popular at the moment in this current patch, and it looks like there's potential for Nardius. He might maybe jump back to Graves. I think that's definitely the choice between Graves. And no, he does lock in Severe. It's the first Severe we're going to see this evening. And
this has to be a Rumble pick out of NumberOne Esports. Like right now, okay, so they don't have a disengage. They don't have a strong disengage against Orianna, a Pantheon, a Maokai, and a Severe. Like the speed ups can be really tough to deal with. They need to sort of disengage. It looks like potentially out of their top laner if they're going to pick up Fizz from middle. Rumble would help facilitate that with that slow. But the thing is, with a Jarvan, Rumble works really well for engaging, you know, popping the Cataclysm, like I mentioned before, and the Equalizer. And you do so much damage. They have to be careful right now, NumberOne Esports, with their picks, or they could just lose it from here.
I think you're right. I think it is this is a big pick game for them. Of course, they know the Pantheon's been picked up as well. We know how scary the Pantheon can be when ganking lanes. And so I feel like yeah, there you go. That makes more sense. I think I'm more...
I don't know I'm so good at this now. I wish I had this power during LCS, man.
It's a talent. The Jason Kaplan kind of mystic.
It's the nose.
It's the nose.
But crystal ball powers in the nose.
Smell it out, right. So last minute change. Fizz has been swapped out for Zed. as we see the Zed in the mid lane. They considered it in game 1, going to be bringing it into game 2. So that's going to be in the hands of Afrox up against the Orianna in the mid lane. And I think that matchup does favor Zed, unless, of course, Orianna is head and shoulders above the Zed player. I think that should go Zed's way. To an extent, of course, Orianna can still safely farm as can Zed. It's going to be pretty farm-based. Jungle is going to be playing a big part in that, the way that game goes. In the last pick, hovering over Soraka, we've seen it before. Dumble Dodge did good stuff with it in game 1. Remember, we saw the power of Soraka in that late game. He was healing AD carries from 0 to 100.
I'm liking the Leona or the Morgana more.
I think Morgana Severe is a great lane, especially considering what they're up against. Corki Sona with 2 anti-magic shield, 2 anti-magic shields. That's amazing.
The Leona would be really sexy for the ultimate.
To be engaged, yeah, that's true. But
Morgana makes it so you don't really need a lot of healing in lane, because that's the downside, right? Morgana and Leona don't have heals.
But what are you magic shielding other than
Phosphorus Bomb?
Which
is going to be a big portion of Corki's damage and Sona's damage. Like on the Q.
Late game though. I suppose you can also stop the crescendo.
That, but more importantly, I think it's for the that's a good point. Yeah, stop the crescendo, allow the person you need to stay alive, but use it for like an engage on a Morgana. Pop a Black Shield onto your Pantheon if he's running in. Or your Maokai if he's running in, so he can't be stopped, so they can't disengage you, and then you can get the ball in.
But stopped by what?
The Equalizer.
The Equalizer. So
yeah,
basically
so you can run past it, or the Crescendo. Or the Crescendo.
I was going to say, there's very few spells that Black Shield is going to be kind of able to stop.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it's going to work out. I mean, Aces High, they did very well in the early game. Morgana can be very strong early as well as Pantheon. Again, you have a team, Theocles, who did very well in Pantheon in Intel Extreme Masters Clone. In the game, they did win over Dignitas. Yeah. I feel like, he's land a stun, a Black Shield. That's someone that should be dead. Even Twisted Vance in there. He has multiple lanes that he can gank, especially Rumble, who's going to be very vulnerable on the top side. But we'll see how that one's going to work out, obviously, as we were going to be able to pop in a game very shortly. Now, since we do not have a 3-minute delay on the stream, what we're going to do now is, since we have to pause when we get the game, is show you a little bit of a frag video, a little bit of a highlight or recap of what happened in the round of 32. It's not in English, but you can still see the amazing plays coming in nonetheless.
Hope you speak Turkish.
Hemen koruyucu meleği devreye giriyor. Vuruyla de hala hayatta. Mikael de geldi. Çok güzel ulti. Tardırından inanılmaz ulti. Bir anda işin gidişatını değiştirdi.
Neler yapıyor ya? Neler yapıyor?
Ama ya! Ne yapıyorsun? Ne yapıyorsun?
Buna şapka çıkarırım ya hakikaten.
Şimdi içeriye doğru giriyor. Jarvan sadece işlevsel olarak ultisini açtı. Vayne aldılar içeride. Sıkıştırdılar. 2'de 2 yapan bir Ahri var. Acaba 3'te 3 gelecek mi? 3'te 3 geldi.
Son vuruş geldi. Elis'i almayı başardı. Vayne'in üzerinde tutuştur var. Vayne skoru gelecek mi? Vayne skoru da geliyor. Soraka skoru gelecek mi? Soraka skoru geliyor mu? Soraka
geldi. Arka tarafta inanılmaz bir hasar veriyor Fomko. Fomko skoru alabilecek mi? Fomko skoru da alıyor. Hyper skorunu da aldı Fomko. 3'e 1. Bu maçı bitirebilecek mi acaba Hard Random?
Otomatik saldırısıyla beraber öldürmeyi başaracaklar. Bakalım 3'te 3 gelecek mi? 3'te 3 yapmayı başaran bir Tristana var orada. Prince'ten ultisiyle beraber avlamaya çalışıyor ama
Leona'nın üstündeler şu an, bir de Leona skoru gelir mi orada? Diğer tarafta Irelia'nın düştüğünü
çok tehlikeli, çok tehlikeli bir hareket şu anda.
Leona düşüyor. Şahuz da düşecek burada. 3'te 3
mücadele ediyor. Tek başına öldürmeyi başardı Thresh'i. Şimdi Horus'un üzerinde. Onu da otomatik saldırıları dövmeye devam ediyor. Son bir vuruş gelecek mi ve 2'de 2 yapan.
Again, guys, that was only the video in Turkish. We will be speaking English for you.
Yeah.
Maybe you know some Turkish. I personally do not. Even though people always ask me, am I Turkish because my last name? But nonetheless, guys, we're going to be kicking off our second game in just a few seconds. Just letting the game play a little bit more before we do kick it off, since we have that 3-minute delay that we have to enforce here. But again, we can go over the lanes for you guys. We can discuss it a little bit more here. We've got Rumble up against Maokai in that top lane. We got Jarvan up against Pantheon in the jungle. We've got Zed up against Orianna in the mid lane. And of course, Corki and Sona up against the Severe and this Morgana. And you were saying before, Severe being picked up quite a bit lately. Really curious to see how she's going to do in this game. It's very hard to kind of master her because it comes down to, I believe, one factor. Can you spell shield the right target? Luckily for him, he has a backup plan in case he messes up because he has the Black Shield.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to land any form of CC on Nardius. He's going to have himself as well as Dumbledog to kind of back him up in that one. I'm really intrigued to see how this mid lane matchup plays out. Of course, as a mid lane player myself, I do love to see, especially this Orianna Zed matchup, in occasionally solo queue when I play this game, but you know what I mean.
No, never mind.
Afrox and Energy is going to be interesting, especially considering we had the Aru Jace matchup before, which I'd consider a skill matchup. Then going into Zed Orianna, going to be really interesting to see how these two mid laners kind of clash.
And one thing that you have to keep in mind for Aces High is that if they don't win the mid lane, I'm really worried that, NumberOne Esports, the Zed, can 100 to 0 people really quickly.
Yeah.
Severe can get away from, quite a bit of the damage. If you spell shit it correct, I think you can even stop his ultimate from applying to you. But he has that potential to just completely demolish your team if he gets off to an early start, especially do that to an Orianna, unless you go into that early Zhonya. So we'll see, obviously, as the game goes on, exactly what they're going to go for. I want to see how Theocles is going to do on Pantheon, because remember, I mentioned before, I think I mentioned a couple of times now, he played Pantheon into Extreme Master Clone in the game they won versus Dignitas, and he did really well on it. And they ran 3 subs, but the reason they won that game was because he went like 10-3.
Because he's a beast on Pantheon.
Yeah, and he knows how to use his ultimates, and I'm expecting him to be ganking that bottom lane quite a bit to make some plays happen. And we're going to find out. I'm really excited to see who's going to win this one. Really impressed by both teams. Really cool to see them very well matched. I don't think we expected the game to be that close from it, but they've done it. They've done it.
They have, and I think we're ready to jump on into game, jump onto the Rift, and have a little look where this game kicks off.
All right, so over on that blue side, guys, we're going to have NumberOne Esports. Over on the red side, it will be Aces High here. Obviously, let us know in chat who you guys think is going to win. You can also let us know via Twitter, @JKaplan and @MachiniTV. Always like to hear what you guys have to say. And looking at, as them leave their bases, I want to see if NumberOne Esports are going to be aggressive in the beginning. They don't have like the grit. They don't really have that great of a team at all to invade. So I'm assuming Aces High, with the Morgana, they could be aggressive. Already on one map up, kind of why not at this point?
Yeah, I think they can be aggressive. They can take a lot more risk. It's that lovely little cushion that you get in a best of 3. Once you picked up the first, you're kind of one step away from victory, which can be really comforting, a nice mindset to have. And so Aces High do have that slight advantage as they go on into this one. Thaldren just baiting out, having a little dance with the enemy jungler. Theocles getting aggressive. Look at him just throwing a spear into a Rumble. Backing away from that one. Has revealed his position on the map, though, made it clear that he's planning on starting in the Krugs and Red route. And over on the other side, looks like Jarvan's going to be starting on his blue buff for the Gromp area as well. There's a ward there, though, so they're going to know that as well. So a lot of knowledge already has been picked up by both teams in terms of jungle position, as well as where these lanes are going.
Yeah, Theocles still on top of ward. Even making some jokes here. I was interested to see if he wanted to go for a blue buff and contest it. But it'd be very dangerous. And you don't want to fall behind Pantheon or as Pantheon early on. So definitely right. I think he'll start over towards his red, get those Krugs down, and then move through his jungle. Will Thaldren do exactly what Malakai's do? It seems like he's already been set up with the sapling tosses. Going to be able to clear this wave out the Raptor camp really quickly, and he will have a level advantage over Krisange right off the beginning.
Yeah, level advantage is so very key, of course. Starting on those Raptors.
This is what we didn't see last game out of either team. Like, no one taking other jungle camps, but we're seeing, the AD carry support take Gromp. We're seeing, Thaldren go for the Raptor camp. They're trying to spread the, the experience relatively early on. They're not going to give as big of a leash to Theocles as they were able to onto Decagon. That's actually a really smart move. Get that early level 2. That applies so much pressure here bottom lane.
Yeah, and opting to go back, get full revive, even maybe do a bit of shopping before he heads on back. And what that enables him to do, especially when starting with his flask, means he can basically use his flask to tank as much as he can from the Raptors, regen it, and then TP to that top lane. So he's got the early level 2. We'll see how much that aids him up against Krisange. And of course, it does give him that advantage. It enables him to just be that little bit more aggressive. You know how kind of aggressive Arcana can be in lane. He's just going to be even more so. And
look at this. Is Decagon trying to go for an early gank here? Remember last time, I should know it was Theocles that went back to base and then returned into the jungle. And Decagon, he's looking for a fight.
He's looking for a fight. We were talking about early jungle pressure, and this could be a prime example of it. Jarvan's going hard, just going to hit Orianna once and actually pay a pretty heavy price. The minions going hard onto him as he falls low. And in the meantime, you can see over in that bot lane a matchup we went to the highlight as well. Nardius falling to that poke. Swan could be in trouble as well. Swanpole? Is that what you've been calling him?
Swainpole?
Swainpole. Sounds like a kind of pole, kind of shrine to Swain. As Dumbledore and Nardius just... I feel like this matchup slightly favors them in the early game, just because you can't touch him. What's Padden going to throw at him? Padden, Corki's primary poke is his magic damage, and they've got 2 resources to stop it.
Yeah, it comes down to if they can stop that damage from coming in, but any damage they do will stick. That's the other, that's the upside side of that coin right there for them. And you saw, Nardius took a little bit of damage. I'm curious to see, actually, if is he running any lifesteal Quints. Not really here, so just going for the standard kind of build. And, Padden, little bit of a lead. Well, if you can hit CS, a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, still pretty level all across the board. Top lane is as level as it can be, 22-21, despite, of course, the early advantages that Thaldrin created by starting Raptors. And you can see Jarvan in the river, perhaps going to consider a meet. Is he going to go aggressive? He could have caught him out at Gromp, though, instead turning his attention to that bot lane, and this could get messy. They're pretty heavily extended. Nardius forced to shield away. This could get messy for Dumbledoge.
Let's see what happens. Actually, going to sacrifice himself going towards the backside. His first blood over to Padham. So nice little gank comes in from Decagon. Nets him a kill. Gives them an early lead here, an early start that they did not have last time.
And that's what you get when you overpush. Didn't really need to do anything. No wards were going to stop them. You just strolled into lane, flag and drag towards the suicidal Morgana. And first blood going over to NumberOne Esports. He went Aces Highway last time. Maybe that's a sign of what's to come.
And Theocles, again, just been farming up here. Level 4 currently against the level 3 of Decagon. So going for that early level 6, or going for that quick level 6, I should say. And then we'll start to gank these lanes a little bit more after that. You know, it's pretty easy kills top lane, potentially easy kills bottom if he can land his, or if they could land the Dark Binding. And now he might even head towards the top side. I feel like if you punish Cressange here, then they lose their, their strong disengage or their strong combo. And right now, look at this, Decagon. Looking for a gank middle, being very proactive here in these ganks. And now topside gank coming out of Cressange.
Oh, Cressange is very much in trouble, waiting with the stun until Cressange flashed away. He's surely going to go down. One auto attack's all it's going to take, and the flash does secure it. 1 for 1 now, as that one goes the way of Thaldrin and puts Maokai bump ahead in that top lane.
This is the dangerous thing now, is that he can be camped so easily here by Theocles, who's getting a lot of free experience here from this lane. He's going to go back and buy up, obviously get that slowness smite yet again. And all he has to do is just ult in.
Yeah, it's nearly level 6, about halfway there. So he's going to be ready to rock and ready to rumble whenever he needs to make that move. In the meantime, though, you can see this Energy and Zed matchup. Something I said was pretty skill-based, still very level.
All right, we have to pause up here for a little bit. We can actually just kind of keep it here in game and just take stock of things while we do. Obviously, there's a pause in game actually that happens, so we have to let the game play out a little bit more here before we do continue in. In the meantime, you can take a stock of things, exactly what's going down. We had obviously a great gank coming in out of Theocles' top side, and I'm worried to see some more ganks coming in right after that. It's just up to if they want to go for it or not, and it can provide a lot of momentum for Thaldrin. He can get pretty fed. I mean, he already has the Kylus done. He's going to get his Rod of Ages done relatively soon if he can get a couple more ganks in. And once you get the tree going, he can become pretty unstoppable. He can become too tanky for their team to deal with. And again, you have to keep in mind, Afrox, he's going to be a big damage dealer for the side of NumberOne Esports.
Yeah, he certainly is. And I think you were talking about Thaldrin getting ahead. If Thaldrin does anything like he did last game, if he gets just a couple of kills, he's going to be a threat to the bot lane as well. He's got his TP. He can be a presence in that bot lane. And so he has to keep that in mind, as looks like... you can see the gold lead. I was just having a look at it. It's 8.4 to 8.3. It's a very slight lead in terms of CS. It must be to the Aces high side, but they have that advantage under their belt. I mean, you were talking before about confidence from game 1. You were saying how it can really play on the minds of the winners, especially in the best of 3, because you're basically like, right, this is the best of 1 now. If we win this, we've won. And I think it does make a huge difference. Whether or not we'll see that in their playstyle remains to be seen.
Yeah, again, guys, for just joining us, we have to wait about 45 seconds more. That's how we can restart the game back up again. It's all due to them actually going for a pause in-game, which means, we kind of have to pause here since we can't have that 3-minute spec delay. And, well, right now, as you can see, items being built up here. We have the pickaxe picked up for an artist. On the other side, you see the phase done for Padham. And the AD carries, I feel like they're going to go head-to-head a little bit more here. And just about 20 more seconds to go.
Just 21 seconds to go. Someone in chat can tell me what song that's from. I'll be impressed. Just 21 seconds to go. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. 5 seconds on that timer, and we're going to be going straight back into game.
Yeah, so when we go into the mid game here, I'm curious to see if Dumbledoge's going to go for any sort of roaming, which can make things really hard for the other side. If he lands a Dark Binding, I mean, it's going to be hard to land on Afrox, but if you do, that's going to be a guaranteed kill. And then again, he has to be careful. Make sure Severe can actually stay alive here on that bottom side. Again, guys, apologies for that one. Had to actually pause the game due to a pause in game. And the stream is currently not on a 3-minute spec delay since we couldn't get that up and running before we started things off with. But nonetheless, 45 to 39 CS in mid lane. Goal difference pretty much bang even here. And right now, Aces High, I feel like the game's in their hands. I feel like if the Theocles just go for some easy ganks, that's so many kills they can pick up. And now, look at this. Head up towards the top side, I feel like he's reading my mind. There's no words to spot him.
He's going to be strolling into this one. Theocles is going to be making yet another appearance in this top lane. And I think Krisange knows it could be do or die. Nice equalizer, though. He's doing a lot of damage to Pantheon. Forced to flash away. Theocles going low, but he's out of range from the Rumble. But it does save his skin with just pure damage. Very nice response from Krisange. And that's maybe a sign of the power of that equalizer. You were talking about the Cataclysm equalizer combo. That's scary.
He got so lucky, hit level 6 right when that gank happened, because he would not have been able to escape that one if it did not happen. So luckily for him, maybe it was well timed, maybe it was calculated. Either way, he does escape the gank, still doesn't have flash up, and we will have Theocles with level 6 after the Crumps, I believe, the Croaks, sorry, to go in towards that top side for another gank. And it comes down to, is that where he really wants to focus it in? And Energy getting caught out a little bit.
Oh, he's going hard. Zed's just trying to do his very best under that turret, though, but he's taking so many turret hits. What's he doing? Jumps back to his shadow under the turret, and it costs him his life. Energy gets that 1-for-1 exchange. Great gank, though, from Decagon, jumping over that Raptor wall as Theocles is making another move for Krisange. Surely not going to make the same mistake again. No equalizers to be heard of. Thaldrin's there doing the damage as well. Krisange, though, falling into the turret, the smite to slow him, and Thaldrin picks up that one. 2-3 then as the dust settles, as Energy's just about respawning. 2-for-1.
And that almost was actually fluffed up right there, too, because of them stacking their CC. The Twisted Arts. Oh, Nardis getting very low on the bottom side. One more attack could do it. The rocket comes in, doesn't connect. Oof. And Nardis will just barely escape by the skin of his teeth. So he's now falling behind in CS here. Padden getting some good control of this bottom lane with that sustain lane out of Swanpool. But right now, again, the top lane is what it's all about here for both these teams. Krisange, he needs to get back in this game somehow. The equalizer, I mean, it's going to do a lot of damage just based off of Levin alone. But he can get punished so hard here, and Thaldrin, just unfortunately won't be done here just yet, but can continue to build up a little bit tanky and continue to be even more aggressive here.
He is going to be a beast. He's got his Catalyst. He's also picked up his Crystalline Bracer, which is even more health and more health regen. And so he is going to be pretty tough for that Rumble to chew through, just with a Tome and a Doran shield to his name.
Yeah, he's trying to get that Haunting Guys, get the extra penetration early on, go for the Sword Boots on top of that, and just kind of burn him down. That's the typical Rumble build, though, that you'll see. I'm not sure if it's going to work out for him, though, if he does get punished more. If he does get ganked yet again, he's going to be so far behind in his build that he will be struggling to really do too much damage in these fights, other than that equalizer.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him, I think. I mean, he's going to be relevant when his ult's up, but other than that, you're right, he's going to have little to show. And
luckily for Krisange, like, yeah, he's getting focused top lane, but he's also drawing the attention from Theocles to the top lane constantly, which is allowing his bottom lane to win. You know, currently 10 CS lead, 1 kill to 0, and looks like he will be ulting up towards this top side most likely, looking for Krisange. Flash not up, and here comes a slow, here comes a stun, the red buff, and he is going to be down yet again.
The equalizer does get thrown down just to maybe kind of show what he's made of, but nothing more to be said. Theocles, very strong Pantheon presence. You were talking about just how effective his ganks are, and he's picked up the Moby Boots now. Of course, he's got that Stalker's Blade, which enables him to smite the enemy to slow them. In the meantime, actually, he'll come back to that. Looks like there's a bit of action in that bot lane. Ult's being used crescendo onto Nardius. Nardius is going to be going like forced to flash away, but actually Sona does connect. They're looking for more, though. As you can see, Jarvan on the prowl for this dive. Dumble knows he could be in trouble. Tanking turret hits. The TP's coming in. Flashes out of that Cataclysm and forces a flash in response from that. They wanted more, and Decagon did everything within his power to secure it.
Yes, they did. And I mean, even with 2 spell shields, technically, they weren't able to stop the crescendo right there. And it's just a little bit unfortunate for them, but he does go down again. He's 0-1 now Severe, 0-1 Morgana. But Dragon potentially starting off. No teleport up here for Thaldrin. Using last fight just to scare them away. But he's running back from base here, and Zed already getting low here off that Orianna ball.
Yeah, brought low, you can see. Aphrox has been doing pretty well on Zed. He's already got his Cutlass, double longsword as well. Plenty of AD. Pretty standard build for Zed. Probably going to be picking up the Brutalizer with those double longswords. He does do just that now.
If Aces High don't take this Dragon right now, they've allowed Krisange to get back in the game. All this free farm that you can see he's getting here top lane. So, we're going to go straight forward. Decagon, no flash. Has this combo to potentially steal it, though. And Aces High, they're just going to wait. They're going to wait. Wait out the... Oh, no, Rumble's teleported down.
Krisange just making an appearance. That free farm has stopped, but they are quite easily going to be taking that one away. Bit late. Decagon going in and just suicide. Dives into the depths of the enemy team and falls pretty flat. Didn't actually see Dumble picking that one up. Probably pretty accidental. Probably just a tick from his pool. But regardless, that's another kill on the board for Aces High. In the meantime, Nardis could be in trouble trying to do damage to Padden, though. He's going to do just enough. No, he's not. Summoner Heal says no as the kill comes in.
Able to pick up the kill, so Pat again building the lead. 2-0-1. Triforce, almost done. Borderline here, but I really question why, Jarvan went in to try to steal it when he had no vision.
I don't know.
Or did he have vision from the Scuttle Crab? I couldn't tell. But either way, Energy getting pushed on. Equalizer comes down. Energy looks like he'll get the distance he needs. Ultimate going to come in from Zed.
It's just enough. You can see the shuriken above his head means his fate is sealed, and Padden now in trouble in that bot lane.
Oop, wrong button.
So much trouble.
I got the last second.
Yeah, you got the last second. You got the
counts.
explosion. He does go
That's
down.
the best part of Corky dying.
That is the best part of Corky dying. He does fall pretty flat, and that's just, once again, the power of the man drop. As soon as the ultimate is up for Theocles, he is there. He is in a lane, and he is doing damage.
That's how you play Pantheon. I mean, that's just picture perfect Pantheon play. Ult in, whenever it's up, pick up a kill, go back to base 5, go back to farming, wait till your ult's up, then do it again.
He's a manly twisted fate. That's what he is.
Yeah. He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you can see, Battle for Vision's being won very much so by Aces, getting a lot of deep vision in the enemy jungle. But in fairness, NumberOne Esports do have a kind of response to that. They have plenty in the blue side of the jungle. And look at this presence in mid lane. Valdrin perhaps has something up his sleeve for the Zed player. Oh, I think he's been spotted. Afrox must have caught a glimpse of him as he does pop a ward in and shadow away. He's having none of that. He's noticed there's 3 enemy players around. They're going to be making a move for this mid turret, though. And I think perhaps there's potential for a fight here.
There isn't. Well, Afrox being popped on with the Owner ultimate, going to get locked down by something. He gets taken down here with one more hit. Falcons with a nice stun coming in. Dumbledore picks up the kill yet again, securing that one. They're going to pick up a turret here on top of that. It's very good head back to so Crescendo coming out the Alcas, looking for the kill on some of the Ignite, and the ultimate Cataclysm coming down, able to pick up one, but he loses his life as well. And they will get the turret. They will trade 1 for 1. Well, I guess 1 for 2 technically in that one in favor here of Aces High. And again, it's allowed free time for Rumble to farm this top lane.
All Decagon did there was seal his fate. He locked himself in there with the enemy team.
That was manly, though.
You're coming with me. You're coming with me.
Yeah.
If I'm going down,
Like, look at this.
You're coming with me. And you can see, look at that. 2 heavily armored men lying side by side on the battlefield. And Padden just going to be hitting up that CS. You can see 111 to 88. Let's talk about that later, though, as here comes Severe Roll. Here comes the damage. Nardis is going low, but Morgana's there to back him up. Sona's got nothing really to secure him. Finally, he does fall. Nardis fell low, but not low enough, and that was the support from Thaldrin. Quick fingers from him, though. That TP instantly must have been shouted over communications to get him down there, and he was the tipping point of that one. In the 2v2, I feel like that would have gone a different way.
Why did Padden Valkyrie into him?
He felt confident. He knew Sona was coming up. He knew it was a 2v2. He could probably win.
True.
And then suddenly a Maokai appeared and all of it changed. Really nice play from Thaldrin. He's securing that one as a team. And Aces High, they've definitely got the communication. They've definitely seemed pretty on point.
Oh no.
As of yet.
Energy might be getting baited in here.
He's got a big scary tree.
Valkyrie has ultimate though. Oof, this could be very close. Pink War going to spot them out running by. Pantheon spotted it as well here.
This is bad news as the tree does fall pretty low. Theocles is doing his best. Thaldrin's just slowing him down. Krasanj fall into about half HP, but Zed's there to make an appearance. They're trying to make a dent into Thaldrin, and he says, not going to happen. The man drop, he's coming in. Pantheon's going to surely regret this one. Dives in and just walks away as Decagon is falling incredibly low. Not going to quite survive this one. Neither is Pantheon as the 2 men do fall. It's a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of NumberOne Esports as Thaldrin and Theocles into graves.
Oh, and that was... there were some mistakes on both sides right there.
That was so confusing.
Afrox couldn't get his living shadow over the wall.
He fluffed his
fluffed
shadow?
It. That's why he didn't get into the fight earlier on. Then Theocles, he tried to go in to kind of combo them down with this ultimate plus Orianna, and obviously didn't work out too well. So in the end, it was what, a 2-for-1 trade. Not the worst thing in the world, but there was definitely some deaths that didn't need to happen in that fight.
Yeah, a couple of slip-ups, but no stranger to that in this game. Both teams obviously so aware of the enemy team's mistakes. They're basically trying to exploit each other's mistakes, and all that's doing is causing them to make their own. As it's a vicious circle in League of Legends here on the Rift. 16 minutes in, 8 to 10. Gold pretty level as well. But you turn our attention to CS, you can see that in that bot lane, Corky is still on top. Padden, the man who whipped out Kalista in game 1, did pretty well with it as well. He's opting for the safer pick of Corky. Something that Nardis did pretty fantastically on in game 1. I think it was 5-for-1 around this time last game.
Yeah, he was definitely helping carry his team in that one. And well, right now, 18 kills, only 16.5 minutes in. Items again being
That's what
built
we
up here
like.
from both sides. Infinity Edge coming in soon for Nardus. And Theocles' ultimate almost back up yet again. He's had a pretty solid game. I mean, he's had 60% kill participation currently with 1 kill, 5 assists. And even able to scare Afrox away here in middle.
Something I really like about what these guys are doing, the Aces high side, is they've got, I mean, the Markai's gone straight for Righteous Glory. Throw that in with a severe ultimate and you can't run away from this team. That's a lot of AoE movement speed for this team. They're planning on getting catches. They've got Pantheon with a whole lot of movement speed with his Moby boots. And I mean, this is a pick comp if ever I saw it. They're going to get a pick and they're going to get it with movement speed.
That's what we kind of expected. That's why the Equalizer is going to be so
Integral.
hopefully powerful for the side of NumberOne Esports if they can land it appropriately. But then again, you know, the question comes down to, do you want to use it defensively to escape, or do you want to use it offensively to go for a fight? And we saw the damage it did earlier on just when he hit level 6, able to get Theocles almost to his grave. But, you know, right now what the build he's going for Neosludge Rod, so he might be going into a Zonias here. I mean, there's kind of, I guess, 2 routes you can go. You can go Haunting Guys, Sork Boots, Zonias, or you could go Haunting Guys and then the Riot Crystal Scepter. But instead, going for that Zonias to kind of survive a little bit more. Again, Nardus bottom side getting very low. Kind of what we've come to expect here. But Theocles, he's on his way. Oof, this is not good for
the power
Padden.
of Theocles. No vision to be heard of as well. Decagon's just going to make an appearance, try and clear out some wards, but he's not going to know that Pantheon's presence is there. Mandrop is off cooldown as well. And so that is something that needs to be considered. You can see they're all orientating themselves around this dragon area as well, as they're going to be perhaps looking to make that happen. Neither top lane, in fact, I say neither top lane. Thaldrin has no TP. Krasanj does. And so he could be a presence if a dragon fight was to occur. In fact, if a fight was to occur.
Oh no.
Swain and Padden could be in trouble. Turret does fall, but they've got that TP to fall back on. They have that Rumble who can make an appearance if they need it. And this is a back and forth, to and fro, neither team willing to commit.
I guess if Nardus got back to lane a little bit quicker, that almost certainly would have been a fight here. But the question comes down to, not the question, but the problem is that they don't want to go for Dragon right now because they know their top laner doesn't have teleport. So if the top laner runs down for them to do Dragon, then Rumble can just shove top lane, pick up a lot more CS, and he's tied things back up now, which is fantastic for him. But you don't want to give him, you know, any more time to free farm, so you're kind of in this really rough spot. But luckily, teleport's going to be off cooldown here in just a few seconds. Thaldrin rotating down from that top lane, looking for middle. And Afrox, well, they know exactly where he is with that ward being placed. But either way, they're just going to back off. Now, Dragon. It's being pinged up here. Rumble was able to shove the wave in. Going to be teleporting down towards the bottom side as well here. Dragon being started. And he's just how they're looking for it. They already got the first one. Looking for number 2. Pink ward coming down. And trying to force NumberOne Esports back. Not going to get smited away here, but the fight breaks out.
This is bad. Crescendo only picks up 1. Thaldrin going to try and punish him for that. Here comes the shockwave. Zed dodges it. Afrox using his ultimate defensively, but it's only going to delay the inevitable. He goes down now. Krasanj and Swain Pole are on the run. Thaldrin does have his twisted advance available. He just needs to find an opportunity to use it. Instead, they're forced to back away. They have all that movement speed at their disposal, but with a severe ultimate used, they have nothing to close that gap. All said and done, though, great exchange from Ace's side. Dragon and 2 kills as that one wraps up.
Yeah, and they just forced him in a bad position yet again. They split them up. Afrox was by himself with the ultimate in the middle of the fight. Oh, Swampole going to get caught up with Dark Binding. And they might even go in for it. They might be able to pick up this kill here. Swampole getting very low on HP. He will drop here. Thaldrin picks up the kill. Flashes to try to escape this one. Even the body block's coming in just to keep him alive. So now it's 3 kills and a dragon. And will it be any more? Krasanj coming in. Padden taking a hefty amount of damage. Theocles going back to base, but he has his man drop up. And he's actually going for some more damage. Picks up a Brutalizer.
That is a scary Zed.
He just got completely out of position in that fight. The shockwave didn't even hit him, and yet he still died really quickly.
Yeah, I think it was a case of I'm about to die ult. It was definitely not how Zed's supposed to be executing in this kind of in and out assassination fashion. It didn't manage to pull that one off in the meantime, though. Look at what's going on in this bot lane. Fantastic maneuver from Nardius. Now 1v1ing up against Dumble, and Dumble, he's got so many kills, but he can do nothing up against the power of Corki. A double picked up with no repercussions, as you can see. Decagon and Afrox forced to back away straight into the Theocles face. Here comes the stun. Decagon's in trouble.
Oh, let's see what happens here. As you see, Afrox getting pushed really far back in. Ends up just popping his ultimate to get away here. But that's a really nice flash by Padden right there. He escaped the Dark Binding by Double Dog, which would have locked him down and actually got him killed. And he was able to pick the kill on Artist and just easily pick up the 1v1 in the end. So 4-2. Padden showing he can play Corki as well. So even after losing, what was it, 3 people at Dragon and Dragon, they pick up 2 kills. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Slight gold lead now favoring them. And I mean, that's against the turrets as well. 2 turrets in the hands of NumberOne Esports, and still the gold slightly favoring Aces High. And that's testament to their CS, and that's testament to their pushing power at the moment with these 2 dragons. Is it 2 now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, energy. Get caught out here. Crescent coming in. Flash being forced to be used to get over that wall.
Orianna, it's one of those mid laners where you can get away with these kind of flashes. Yes, 5-minute cooldown, but you have so much power when that flash is down. It's your only real escape, I admit. But if you don't get caught out of position, you still have your entire ultimate and presence in these team fights.
Uh-oh. Decagon might get caught out here. Twisted advance on energy coming in. Shockwave might come down. And Decagon get a nice potential leap away here. One more attack is going to be enough. Going to pick up an easy kill. And you can't afford to lose deaths like that at this stage in the game. You cannot afford to die like that because now Swampole might die with Pantheon jumping in.
This is it. This is do or die, and they're planning on dying. As you can see, Padden is going low. He'll use just to try and escape. The Shockwave says no. Energy going low, but not low enough. In the meantime, Cressange has just been held still by Thaldrin. Thaldrin's basically jumped on him and said, "Oh, they're coming soon. The police are coming," and here they come. Pantheon picks up another. Looking for a third as well as Zed, doing some fantastic work. Afrox not going down without a fight. He's picked up 2. He's looking for a third as Swain is going to fall. And that is a pretty messy battlefield for them as a 3-for-2 exchange.
Yeah, 4 for 2 in the
4
end.
for 2,
But Decagon died in the beginning of that fight, but he was able to get respawn back in time. And funny enough, energy, he almost lived. He almost lived in that one. Minions with coming through the lane, about to attack him, but now here to Afrox to be in the right place at the right time, able to pick up 2, able to get himself snowbound a little bit. But now 17 to 12. It's just like these little skirmishes are giving either team either a way to get back in the game or a way to pick up a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, and these mistakes are going to start stacking up if they keep making them. Decagon got caught out just clearing wards. Such a simple maneuver, and all it meant was the enemy team had that knowledge of where his positions were. They knew where the enemy team was, and they knew that they could get away with making a move onto him. So I mean, they need to be so careful. But I hate saying that because at the moment, neither team really, to me, is given that careful vibe. It feels like both of them are kind of profiting from the enemy mistakes and not so much worrying about the consequences. It's really very strong play from both members of both junglers, I should say. Decagon getting caught out a lot more than Theocles, and Theocles is doing a lot more of the catching out. But regardless, I mean, turn your attention to him right now. 3-2-8. He's got 8 assists already. He's made over. I mean, he's contributed to almost every kill so far.
And right now, he's been able to build a little bit of attack damage oriented, a little bit defensive. And you can see the damage he does. Like, he's almost able, well, he's not able to 1v1.
Oh, he's not building particularly tanky, you're right.
But the stun he's applying is just fantastic. It's really applying pressure, and it's really forcing, Padden right there to play really defensive. Afrox as well, if he, goes in, gets stunned up while ulting, he might not be able to back away from it. Like, if he gets Dark Binding as well, he's stuck there, and that's a dead Zed.
Zed's dead, baby. As they're going to be trying to perhaps clear out the vision around this Dragon Pit. 38 seconds until the Dragon returns. And Swain just popping a ward onto that Dragon Pit. They know. I mean, this is going to be tough for them. Are they in a position to really fight this? I feel they perhaps aren't. 2 dragons already, looking for that third. Of course, that will be the 5% movement speed, and that's exactly what Aces High need. They need even more movement speed. They've already got the Righteous Glory. They have the Severe Ultimate. They've got movement speed, innate movement speed with their jungler with his boots. And, I mean, they are a threat at this stage, just because they can close gaps a lot faster than the NumberOne Esports. NumberOne Esports have to watch their step a lot more. And if they get this third dragon, it's just going to increase that.
Yeah, it's funny that they've been able to really show what makes their comp so strong in terms of movement speed and chasing and running away if they need. But they might be able to here very shortly. Flash being used at Crescent just to escape that one. Dragon going to be started up here. They don't have their jungler, but look at this. They're actually going straight towards Sona.
They want to take one down. It's going to be Swainpole. Look at the destruction they can enforce as the Equalizer is used purely defensively to slow down the onslaught. As it's going to be doing a perfect job. Look at the damage it managed to do on those 3 members of Aces High.
That's what we talked about before. It's either offensively or defensively, and even defensively, it can do quite a bit when you have them in these really enclosed areas.
Yeah, it's almost poke at the moment as it's managed to chunk them down quite considerably. Their starting dragon, though, there is vision.
Kill the ward!
This could be bad. They need to sweep it out. They've got a pink ward right in the Dragon Pit. I don't understand why they didn't kill the ward. Dragon still goes pretty uncontested, though, as that's smited away, and they now have even more movement speed. The man drop coming in. This could be messy for Afrox if he can just get away. He has been slowed to flash stun onto the Zed, using his ultimate defensively, trying to back away from this one, but it's not going to survive. Energy picking up that one, as that's going to be one dead Zed, and that's about a 40-second, to make it 35-second death timer, where they have that freedom and the advantage of a 5 vs 4.
And what's so nice for Aces High with having an Orianna is that so Orianna went to a Zhonya's first, so you can get out of Zed's ultimate. The Command Protect, it doesn't necessarily, cleanse the ultimate or anything like that, but it allows Nardus to keep building damage instead of having to go into QSS, relatively early on to get rid of it. So, the Command Protect gives, the armor, the magic resist, and it allows Nardus to just tank him up, and then as long as he gets a little bit of life still, you could potentially heal most of it and be fine. But in the meantime, we're seeing a little bit of a push coming back out here out of the blue side. Well, not able to pick the turret here just yet. Going to be forced to back away. And NumberOne Esports, I think they realized that they're in the back seat here. They need to just kind of hope there's a mistake made by Aces High like in the previous game and use that to kind of trampoline back into the lead.
I think you're right. I think that's exactly what they're looking for. They're trying to kind of expose a weakness in the Aces High side. And at this stage in the game, you've got an Orianna who's only going to get stronger. Morellian Arbicon, Zhonya's, and picked up a large rod as well. Sat on a quite handsome 372 AP. That's a whole lot for 27 minutes. And, of course, the ball delivery system we were talking about earlier still has its possibilities. We haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen we haven't seen a game-changing Shockwave, but look at this. Thaldrin's going in.
Oh, Shockwave comes in. It's not that great, but Energy getting the Zhonya's off early on. You can see the backside of the Oculus getting pushed away from Afrox. It looks like he might eventually fall from that one. That's Afrox picking up one. That's Orianna going down as well. Morgana secures one, but he eventually falls. And now it's Nardus and Thaldrin all by themselves. Thaldrin should be able to escape this one. I think he has the movement speed to really run away. And that will be a 3-for-1 exchange in favor of NumberOne Esports. And we just talked about mistakes. Well, there was one right there.
It was a huge mistake. As you saw the bit, it was almost like they were forced to fight. I felt like NumberOne Esports played it perfectly, well enough to force the fight onto Aces High. They kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say completely messed up the Shockwave, but it was a panicked Shockwave from Energy. You saw a group of people, he felt like he just needed to use his ultimate, needed to turn the tide of the fight. And Thaldrin, the man who kind of started the whole fluffy fight off, is trying to do it again.
He took like no damage.
He doesn't take
He healed
damage.
up more from his passive than he took.
13 assists, 4 kills. He's already got his Righteous Glory, Frozen Heart, and a Spectre's Cal. He's going in again. This guy is unstoppable.
Yeah, man drop coming in from the backside to keep him away. The Jarvan going to go down from this one. Afrox might fall as well here as he's going to get double killed over to the Severe now. Nardus picking up his second of that fight. Now they might just go straight for Baron from this.
They have the numbers.
As I say, they need to be careful of what happened last game, but they're the ones with the castle with Thaldrin to stop the Baron from being done. Or it wasn't stopped, but he picked up 2 kills. But they're starting nonetheless. Sona trying to buy a little bit of time maybe. Corki as well off to the side with the rockets. I feel like Baron's a stupid move. Just get away from it. Those rockets can potentially steal it. And they will back off. They will just keep the lead that they had. And this is one thing that, NumberOne Esports didn't do last time when they went for that Baron. They kind of just gave that one up.
Yeah, last time. I mean, we've seen a lot of Baron throws already today. Or a lot of attempted Baron throws. As NumberOne Esports, well aware that they're going to be recalling, perhaps trying to make a move for that turret. Know that they, unless they pick up home guards, it looks like Energy did do just that, enough to close the gap and get there to clear that wave and keep that turret safe. Nice positioning from him then. That's going to secure that safety. And they're going to be backing out to see another day. Once again, though, gold still favoring Aces High quite nicely. 48.5 to just 45. So about a 3,000, almost 4,000 gold lead now for Aces High. They've got that 1 game advantage already. Looking to wrap it up in 2. As their solo laners are getting stronger and stronger. 4-1 and 15. I keep looking at that scoreline and kind of not believing it. But then again, look at Theocles, 3-3-10. He's contributing to just almost as much in these fights. And it feels like the Pantheon Stun connects and then the damager just appears. It feels like Thaldrin's actually exerting quite a bit considering his build.
Yeah, I mean, levels is a big portion of it. He's fallen actually behind Chrysange, funny enough, from levels because he's been rotating around the map, but he's been applying pressure because of that, allowing him to pick up more kills, allowing him to get, 7 kills ahead right now. And, oh, look at this, looking for Afrox, maybe to chase him down. Theocles, Candyland stun. He's got to watch out for Patton off to the side. And it looks like they will just back off.
Yeah, wisely. So look at the damage Patton can exert, forced to kind of keep Theocles alive as the tree comes in to defend him. Yeah, Aces are returning. Here comes the equalizer, though. Surely that's just to slow him down on the retreat, try and catch off one. That's not the man they were looking for, though. It's Thaldrin, as he's going to live to fight another day, no doubt. Pops his Righteous Glory for a little bit of extra, as he does back away. And it's all closing out with 55 seconds on that timer. Both teams well aware of it. This is the time to go back. If ever you were going to go back, you want to get back by, regen, defend that turret, and then make a move straight for that dragon.
Yeah, you mentioned Home Guts earlier on, and Theocles, well, didn't pick one up, but they still have one on Thalagen if he wants to go back to base. They still have one over on their mid laner for energy. But they have a lot of crucial ultimates still up. They have the ultimate out of Orianna, sorry. They have the ultimate out of Dumbledog up. So it's not like NumberOne Esports can push right now. Because if they get engaged on and lose, this is going to be a big engage. Just you're dragging up in 20 seconds. There's no point in throwing a fight right now when you can give, up your 4th buff to the team. Man drop coming in.
He's going to try and make the move. The flashes and the Valkyrie, they just need to get away, but Krasanj hasn't got the movement. He can't quite get away from this one. The Twisted Advance is there. Krasanj's fate is sealed as Azania is surely delaying the inevitable. Decagon hit by that shockwave, but Zed's doing great moves as well. Afrox looking for more, though. Looking to try and take down another. Does that as he's going low, but not low enough as the Prowl is... he's looking to continue this hunt. Padden and Swain on the push, and they're trying to connect some rockets on towards the Dumble, but he says no, as his big tree shield is held high. That's going to be a free Drake, though, no doubt in my mind. 3 players down, just Thaldrin and Dumble remain, and that's going to be Drake number... Ooh, I don't want to get this wrong. It is number 1, actually. They didn't pick up the last one. Drake number 1 picked up for NumberOne Esports, and that's going to start closing the gap.
The problem there was you had Theocles and Thalagen dive in for Krasanj really far, and that left their backline vulnerable. Energy got caught out, Nardus, Dumbledog as well, and they had no protection without their big tanky tree and their man. And that's what's going to happen in these fights if you don't protect them. And Afrox able to do some really good damage. He's 7-5-3 now. He's caught up in CS on top of that. In terms of gold overall, he's actually only 400 behind. Not that bad. So right now, Ace side, they need to make sure they're executing these team fights well. They still have a lead. But if they keep throwing fights away like that when they shouldn't, then they will quickly fall behind.
Yep, and you can see the energy is just basically just hanging out. He's going to be picking up as much CS as he possibly can. He needs to get as strong as he possibly can. And I still feel, Jason, that we haven't seen the game-changing, the team fight-determining shockwave that we know energy can do.
I don't think there's been a single multi-man shockwave yet, actually. There's been a couple that missed, and then a couple of one-mans.
I feel like we haven't seen any more than 2.
Credit to, to NumberOne Esports so far for just staying so spread out, and now Swainpool going to go down. Equalizer is going to help, but not stop too much. But it's actually gotten Morgana very low here. Sona surviving for a lot longer than I thought she would have. And Afrox, he was looking for maybe a little bit of cheeky engage off to the side here. But again, small little picks like that, it allows Ace's side to maybe push for some objectives, deny some more jungle camps away, and allow them to build up a little bit of more of a lead. As you can see, it's approaching 5,000. Not there just yet. But they're starting to get so far ahead in item. Well, not far ahead, but they're starting to get some really big buys coming in. You see, the Death Cap now done. Bloodthirster's actually Infinity Edge done for Nardus. Thalagen's still getting more tanky. And Theocles still building more damage as well as tankiness with that Hex Drinker.
Yeah, Hex Drinker, very smart buy. I was just thinking something similar. And that's not necessarily, it does look weird when you look at kind of the build. You have Krasanj AP, and that's pretty much it. But then you remember Padden and his huge amount of AP damage that he can exert just with the Phosphorus Bomb. He's also got his rockets as well. And, Padden is a threat, an AP threat. Swain Pole doesn't feel like he's doing as much as I've seen Sona supports do. I've seen some Sonas that get ahead and start building real, solid AP. Instead, just got his Mikhails and his Frostfang to keep his team going. In the meantime, though, as we begin to take stock, once again, that gold lead hasn't really changed. I thought it would have by now after that team fight, but no, still 57 to 53,000 gold standing between these two teams, and it feels to me that the next team fight's a big one.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be one of the deciding ones, and I don't know where it's going to come down. Baron, it's been toyed, the idea's been toyed with out of Aces High, but honestly wasn't committed. Dragon, not up for a while, so either team not really going to head for that one. I feel like it's just going to come down to Baron, which we're seeing potentially done here. If Theocles has the ultimate to get across the map if he wants. Or otherwise, it's going to be Dragon when it comes back up. It's going to be a while.
It's going to be really intriguing to me. I'm going to be interested to see, yes, you're right, the team fight's not going to be Baron. I don't think Baron's going to be forced. Unless someone gets caught really out of position, it shouldn't happen. And I'm saying it shouldn't because I've seen mistakes like this made before, so I will reserve judgment. But you're right, Dragon's not up for a while. Both teams just going to be taking CS that they possibly can, trying to get as strong as they can for this next team fight. They're well aware of what it's going to mean.
The thing is, look at the vision. There is no vision. There's now 2 wards on the map here for the side. on NumberOne Esports. They have one towards the top side, one towards the bottom, and they have no vision of Baron. Like, this could easily be done.
They could do it now. They
Ace
could have done it now.
easily.
Oh, they're gonna.
They see Corki, they see Zed. Like, it's like, all right, let's just go for it for free.
They've got the damage. They've pretty much got the time. They're going to punish Baron for still celebrating Christmas at this time and at the date. As the Scrying Orb does come out, they're well aware of this position, but it's too late for this party as it immediately gets picked up.
Oh,
Looks
now
like
they're
going to go aggressive. Looks like the Valkyrie's been used, but oh, dearie me, Padden has used everything within his arsenal to get away. Stun comes in. Afrox is going low as well. Zed is surely going to fall, forced to flash away to try and use your moves to close the gap. Evading beautifully. Nardius evading that crescendo completely, and that's a huge cooldown wasted as the man drop's going to be coming in. It's Chrysanges, the target. Equalizer, beautiful, as he does use his Zhonya's, but he's gone golden and he's going to go down as it's going to be Thaldrin to pick up that one. And now with one man down and the Baron buff, this could be a huge move on this mid turret. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an inhib here.
I've never seen such a perfect man drop coming down. He was like smack dab in the center of that when he saw the spike of damage that he took in. I mean, it was a good engage. I'm not sure exactly why they went in for that Baron after realizing it was probably going to be done. But Aces had the speed that we talked about. Being able to chase was just so deadly. The fight's still breaking out. Padden going to go down from this one. And if they're not careful, they keep losing people. They could lose the game. Afrox going in for energy, trying to pick up the kill. The Zoni's going to come in to make him invulnerable to that damage. He's going to survive this one as well. They're going to take the inhibitor. And right now, with all 5 men down, Croissant's the only men to come up in time. They're going to lose the first Nexus turret. They're going to lose the second. Even Gigi's being called out. And Aces High are going to advance on into the semifinals, picking up a 2-0 victory here against NumberOne Esports.
I don't believe it. It looks so messy. It looked like Ace has kind of gone a bit too deep, a bit too far, and Aces have picked it up.
Wow, it's just, I mean, fantastic play out of them right there, just to go for the Baron. I mean, it took them a little bit of extra time than we, maybe were expecting, but we saw the vision. We saw the lack of wards. 2 on the map is not okay when you're playing like this.
At 37 minutes, when there's a Baron